How we doing, guys? And it's finished Arsenal 1, Manchester United 1, and we lose on penalties. And I tell you something, how on earth did we lose that game? We only have ourselves to blame. Chance after chance after chance after chance. They're down to 10 men for what is around about an hour or so. And we have a penalty in normal time. Martin Odegaard misses it. Kai Havertz has absolute sitters and he misses them. If you thought the miss against Newcastle was bad, then my word, you need to have a look at some of the ones that he missed today. Absolute stinks. And then go to the penalties and who misses? Kai Havertz. Absolute stinks. And the other thing as well, right, and I'll say this with the penalties, David Raya. Do you want to telegraph where they put the ball? How many times did he dive before they've even finished their stride pattern? They're looking and going, oh, okay, you've gone that way already. I'm just going to roll it in the other side. Every single one. Terrible, terrible goalkeeping. Terrible. And what did I say in the preview to the game? That I wasn't going to take the mick out of this goalkeeper because he would end up having a worldie. And he did. The penalty save, 2 penalty saves if you include the Odegaard one in normal time. The save from Declan Rice, 2 saves from Declan Rice in normal time. Missed opportunities left, right and centre. And I haven't watched, you know, the interview after the game and anything else with Mikel Arteta. But I can guarantee he turns around and he says, we should have won the game. We done everything but score. We didn't deserve to lose. It's becoming very Wenger-like now when I'm watching some of these press conferences, when I'm looking and I'm thinking, you know what? Say it as it is. That's what I used to love about him so much when he first came in, is that he was very honest, straight to the point with everything. And the reality is that it's not that we were unlucky. It's the fact that our finishing was dreadful. And then go and have a look as well now. Gabriel Jesus, injured. What looks a serious injury as well. Probably out for the rest of the season. And I look at that and I think to myself, you still think we don't need to sign anyone? Really? You don't think we need to sign anyone? No? No wingers, no striker, don't need to sign anyone. We need to get at least a minimum 2 players this window alone. And I keep hearing all this talk about, oh, but you know, the financial restraints and this and that. And what are you on about? We're told that there are no restraints and that we've got money and that the owners back the manager and they're going to spend and we will get what we need, and it's all about market value. And you look at some of the wingers and the players that are moving around in the window and you're thinking to yourself, well, that's market value. Why are we not involved in that? What's going on here? And it's the same rubbish. And I alluded to this a couple of days ago when I said that towards the end of the Wenger reign, you know, it was really on top for not just Wenger, but the Cronkies. And then they made everybody kind of change their mindset about them a bit by spending some money and making it look like, okay, we can compete now. And we have been competing. But I'm looking at this current situation and I'm saying that every single person at the club is culpable for the mess that we're in right now. You know, from the manager to the Edu to, you know, the Cronkies and, you know, all the other people behind the scenes that get involved with the transfers and Richard Garlick and all these people, and everybody is culpable. Everybody has to take a percentage of the blame for why we're in this mess. We've been very fortunate with injuries over the last couple of seasons. I would probably say the one real one that, you know, stood out for me was a couple of years ago with William Saliba. And I do still feel that derailed us so bad we lost the league title. But we was very fortunate last season in terms of injuries. But to go a third year with that kind of luck, it was just negligence and it was never going to happen. And then lo and behold, we lose Saka. We've lost Odegaard. And I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, hold on a minute. We've lost these players for months. Ben White, lost him for months. And then you add to that players like Calafiori, you had players like Declan Rice and Gabriel, and they've had fatigue and they've had niggling injuries and missed games. And you're looking at that and you're thinking to yourself, why did we not strengthen? We've really, really neglected the squad. And that's the reality. And once we went into extra time, I just sat there and thought to myself, we ain't going to get a goal, you know. We ain't going to get a goal. We were doing the same thing over and over again and it weren't working. And it's absolute madness that we've ended up doing that. And then I called it as well. I put it on X before we even went to penalties. And I said, if we go to penalties, we ain't winning. Can see it already. And then lo and behold, the one player that goes and misses is Kai Havertz. The player that missed absolute sitters and should have won us the game in normal time. It's absolute inexcusable that we've not beaten a 10-man Manchester United. Inexcusable. And that's us out of the FA Cup. Done, dusted, finished. We're already 70 or 80% out of the Carabao Cup, so that leaves the Premier League and the Champions League. And oh man, our season is imploding right in front of our faces, and it's negligence that's done it. Complete and utter negligence of the squad. And if we get to the end of January and we've not strengthened, then I'm going to really start to ask some questions and you're really going to see me turn. Because it's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all that we've allowed this to happen. Neglect of the highest order. And we're out of the FA Cup at the third round for the second year running. 2 defeats in a row. I think we've probably had nearly 40 shots on goal in the last 2 games and we've scored 1 goal and accumulated about 6 shots on target. Does that not tell you where the fucking problem is? Can't fucking believe it. Absolute shower of shite. They're not even fucking good. They're a terrible, terrible team. We should have won that in normal time, but we only have ourselves to blame. So there we go. Out of the FA Cup. Absolute load of shite. Sign some players. The last 2 games have not been evident that we need to sign them. Then I don't know what on earth anybody's watching. Self-sabotage. That's what it is. You know what to do. Subscribe button. Smash a like. Whatever. Leave a comment. I'm out of here.